Anyways, can we just take a second to appreciate Skyrim's goated theme song? Like, come on, Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin, Skyrim. But you know what? Anyways, it's time to show some love to our favorite 10-year-old game that keeps getting re-release after re-release, and blessed by God Howard himself. And just give it a little fun AI makeover. Let's see what we get. Essentially, what we're gonna do is take all the major cities of Skyrim, take a description of them and run them through Mid-Journey and see what we get, and just have a good time, That's it. But before we start, some things I need to say. The artists that I chose to play with their art styles today, I'm using Bob Byerly and Chris Mars, just want to put that out there. Both of their actual personal websites will be in the link in the description if you're curious in them, because, I don't know, felt like giving them some credit and for, helping and inspiration. I just looked through the list of artists and, they stood out to me, and I was like, let's see what we get if we put these two in here. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. And you know how it goes. We're going to take a description of each city. I'm not going to mention Skyrim or Elder Scrolls or anything like that in the actual prompts, in the prompts I use at least. Since we got a lot, I'm probably not going to show the prompts, but I'm going to give you a brief idea of what I put. But there's no Skyrim reference, so they're not actually going to look like the Skyrim cities, but they're going to be inspired off of them. You know what I mean? Just see what we get, making some concept art pretty much. And hey, if you want to join in and you got Mid-Journey or DALL-E or any other AI art application, bro, hey, send them to me on Twitter. Let's have some fun. Let's build a little community, and yeah. So anyways, let's just get this started real quick. Alright, first we're going to start with the major, non-major cities, if you know what I mean. The four that don't really have, a whole, they don't got no loading screen attached to them, you know what I mean? Like, they need some love, but we're going to give them a little bit, but there's only so much that we could do with what's been given to us in the game, So let's start with my two least favorite, and the two that I think have the least going on in general, Dawnstar and Morthal. Okay, Morthal is just swamp village with vampires. That's all it is. So that's essentially what I put. I said swamp. I think I put like swampy Viking city. I put city instead of village because I feel like these holds are essentially villages, but they shouldn't be. But yeah, Viking city, swamp, by Bob and Chris. I threw ran by vampires in there, I think, but then I didn't really like what I got. I don't even think it actually took much effect, but I threw it in there. Maybe some bats were going to show up, but I got what I got and I liked it, and that's what I'm showing. And then Dawnstar, a little bit more to do. Like, when I think of Dawnstar, it's just like, to me, it's just a nightmare quest. That's all they got, the Vermina quest line. But I put Docks, Northern Ice, I threw Night Sky, to reference nightmares, I guess. But you know what, I like what we got. It was fun to do. So now let's go on to Winterhold. Now Winterhold, same thing. All these prompts are fairly similar. I wanted to keep the art style the same. I was trying out stuff, trying to learn new things, learning new keywords, seeing how things get. But with Winterhold, I kind of wanted to do before the city was destroyed. So I drew in like big city, snowy region, I threw in like magical atmosphere, and I got one result that actually looked a lot like actual Winterhold. It was like against a mountain, and I liked it. And I had another one that was like a bright, bustling, active city in a snowy region like Winterhold was apparently rumored to be. And then I had another one which was supposed to be the college of Winterhold. I think I threw in like Stone Castle, Magical College, all of that. And I kept referencing Nordic because if I threw in cities, I got like New York and shit like that, like those type of cities. And then I didn't want to throw medieval because it's not the vibe I wanted. But Nordic seemed to be work really well with all of these. So that was like the key thing. Nordic cities and stuff like that. Medieval Nordic cities were the type of things I threw in. But, probably the most popular of the four. Well, actually, no. Winterhold is definitely the most popular of the four. But Falkreath, I feel it has the most going on with it out of these four. Winterhold isn't really anything going on with Winterhold. It's just the college, really. Like, in terms of the actual city, it's carried by the college and nothing else. But Falkreath don't have anything going on in it either. But it got shit going on around it, which is pretty cool. Like the werewolf quest, Spriggans. I fucking hate Spriggans. And just the nature atmosphere, but it's also still gloomy. I think with Dawnstar, Falkreath, and Mortal, I threw in gloomy atmosphere in there. Maybe I should have saved the prompts, but I didn't. And maybe I'll do that next time and leave them in the description if that's something people want. I don't know. Maybe. But anyways, Falkreath, I threw in all gloomy, even though Falkreath, when I get there, it doesn't feel that gloomy. I feel like they tried to go for that vibe with the inn, or was it, no, it was the alchemy plays being referenced by Deadman, I think Deadman's drink, the cemetery, the little girl who got eaten by a werewolf. So I threw in some stuff, and I also, just for the fun of it, because if you know anything about the mid-journey community, you could just go to the website. Niggas are horny. There's just a bunch of just generations of big booby girls and stuff, and them trying to, they do some math to go around it, because Mid-Journey tries its best to be like, hey, don't put in inappropriate stuff, and they're not anything inappropriate in here, but it's just a bunch of. So I just took one of the girl prompts that wasn't that long, and then drew in like tree lady monster and stuff like that, and I got this Spriggan looking one, and I thought it was cool, so threw that in there too. But yeah, that's the four major non-major cities. The ones that are villages. They are considered cities, but they're more like villages, and you know what I mean. But fucking Skyrim, bro. Skyrim. But you know what? Let's get into the actual major cities and where I had more fun and more back and forth. Alright. Alrightly. Okay. Let's start with Whiterun. The first major city that you get sent to in the game after Alduin. When you go through Riverwood and stuff like that. When I think of Whiterun, I just, in my head, thought of the stables, I thought of dragons, I wanted multi-leveled, because, the Cloud District is supposed to be fucking Nazim. But, the different levels that they insinuate, I also thought of walls, because they also mentioned that in the Balgrith dialogue where he asked about the walls, but the walls aren't really that great, to be honest. I thought of the classic marketplace. I thought of the Shrine of Talos. I was thinking about the companions, but I was like, nah, you know what, let's leave it to, because I didn't go maybe I should have tried to make the Longhouse. I did do the College of Winterhold, but I just wanted to, and then I also thought of yellow, because the main thing is yellow. So what I got was the first image I liked a lot. It was in the field, kind of like what Whiterun is, and Whiterun's kind of in the distance, and it was a lush green field. It gave me to me this looked most like what it's like outside of Whiterun, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was cool. And the next one, what's another one? Oh, the tree. I remember the big ass tree in the center that, what's it called? I forgot I rarely do the quest, so I don't remember what the tree is called. But you know what I'm talking about if you play the game. The big tree on the second level in the center, I liked it a lot. I thought of that. I was like, maybe we could do something with this. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking back at it now, and it looks a lot like it belongs in Elden Ring than Skyrim, but both of them are kind of Norse-like. I think Elden Ring's more in the Irish area thing. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. I just was like, big tree, big healing tree or something like that. I threw in other stuff, but it didn't generate. and this was the best one that I liked out of them, and I was like, fuck it, let's throw it in there. I threw in the marketplace. I loved it. I actually thought that picture looked dope, and I was really happy with it. Just think of the classic marketplace. That's like the first thing I think of when I think of Whiterun. And a lot of the cities, you just kind of think of the marketplace. Like it's the marketplace. It's like the main area. So that's what I got. These 3 images, and I thought they looked good, or at least they were the favorites. You know, there's a lot of back and forth, especially with the tavern. First, it kept on giving me like inside the tavern, and I was like, I guess I could have made a banner mayor one, but then I was like, ooh, what if I put outdoor marketplace? And that was the key that fixed it. So that was good. And like I said, I still use Bob and Chris, keep the art styles consistent. I don't know who I'm going to try next time. I'm going to try to mix it up every single time, see what I like. But anyway, on to the next city, which is, let's go through Riften. Riften was interesting because I threw in corrupted town, foggy atmosphere. Oh yeah, for Whiterun I put in like lush, but you know, foggy atmosphere. Even though Riften's not really that foggy, Riften's weird because outside of Riften it's actually really nice and pretty, and it's like an autumn forest type of vibe. But inside Riften it's dark and gloomy. If you don't have an EMB, obviously. Shit, I need to take a breath. But yeah, Riften, corrupted town, marketplace also. I tried to have purple banners and stuff because purple is their symbol. And you know, I threw in like Ran by Thieves Black Market to see what type of aesthetic I gave it, because if you check out my Instagram, I used a lot of the same ones as my underground photo project. That's like all green, and that's what I got. I got these images. They looked really good and they came out really well, I ain't gonna lie. And then I obviously was like, you know what, we gotta do the sewers. But then I thought, you know, I can't do the rat way, because I was like, you know what, I might come back to a Skyrim project. You know, maybe I'll do multiple, one for every quest line. I didn't do any of the DLC areas and stuff like that, so there's more Skyrim generations to do just for the fun of it. But yeah, you know, I made a sewer. It looked cool. It looked nice. I got what I wanted. It was fun to do. And then on to Markarth. Now, Markarth was interesting. Markarth was a difficult one because I don't think Dwarven really took much effect, right? I don't think Dwarven took much effect, and I don't think I actually... Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. On my side, I thought I didn't save the files. But Markarth was cool. I tried to get the Dwarven, the Steampunk, the Stone Ancient. It was difficult, but I got some I liked, you know? I think Dwarven is what really messed it up, now that I'm thinking about, even though it is an ancient Dwarven steampunk-like city that's white and bronze and stuff like that. Those were the like key things I threw in there, like an ancient atmosphere, mountainous region. But if I were to change anything now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't know. I think Markarth is a bit weird because Markarth, they don't really have buildings. It's just like, it's almost like it's carved out of a mountain, which is, I think, what I would have changed. Markarth is kind of carved out of a mountain to where it's like, there's not many buildings, it's just a door and a stone wall, and you just go inside, you know, that type of vibe. So that's probably what I would have tried to change. Maybe I would have done like city carved out of a mountain or something like that. But I liked what I got. I tried to make a silver mine for like the infamous Forsworn quest. I mean, that's the only reason you go to Markarth. Oh, not the only one. But the only times I could think of Markarth is, you know, when you're doing dwarven stuff. I should have done the museum. Fuck. Anyways, it's too late for that, whatever. But yeah, like I said, maybe I'll do this for every major faction quest line and stuff. But yeah, I didn't do the museum. I should have done that. That would have probably been fun. I might do that one day. But I thought of the silver mine quest where you talk to the Forsworn and all that. And yeah, I think stone, dwarves, what else? I don't know. There's not a lot going on with Markarth. I don't like Markarth or Morthal. I don't know. I don't like old, creepy type areas. Like Mortal. I mean, Mortal does its job, but we already talked about Mortal, so let's get on with that. So now Solitude. Good old Solitude. This was probably my best ones. Like, these were probably my best. The Solitude Town Marketplace one, I threw in like Festival, and then I threw in like Busy Atmosphere, Red Banners and Flags Town, and I was like really happy with this first one. And then I threw the Docks and the Blue Palace, and I was really happy with the Docks and the Blue Palace also. I liked it. I felt like this was probably the best ones, the best set I made of a couple images of just generating Solitude, in my opinion. Maybe the Windhelm one, but I had to save Windhelm for last. Stormcloak for life, praise Talos, but let's talk about Windhelm, right? So Windhelm, I use a lot of what Solitude had because they're warring, well, not warring cities, but it's, where the two leaders are, so same vibes. But I avoided throwing in Viking because I felt like Windhelm is the most Viking like all the other cities are kind of imperialized or not even Viking. Like Markarth has its own thing. I don't think I even threw Nordic into Markarth. I think I threw just Dwarven and Steampunk, threw in pipes and all of that. But once again, I already passed Markarth. Let's talk about fucking Windhelm, home of Ulfric Stormcloak and the Stormcloaks. But yeah, Windhelm, I think I threw in like Bonfire, Giant, Viking, Nordic city, harsh atmosphere that's cold, icy waters for the docks, blue banners, which I don't think it really showed up, and it was cool. I was actually really happy with it. The Palace of Kings picture kind of just looks like a stone castle, but I realized that the Palace of Kings it's kind of just that. But this looks more like a stronghold. I don't know. I got lazy with that one, but I liked it. The other images that came with it weren't that good either, anyways, or not really what I was thinking. This was the closest I get, which just the thing about AI art is, I mean, shit, the unpredictability and shit, But that's part of what I enjoy about the unpredictability and puzzles solving, seeing. What if I do this instead? And then when you do get what you want and you do get an image you really like, it feels fucking good. But then I also done the Grey Quarters, which the Grey Quarters picture, I actually fuck with it the more I'm looking at it right now. The Grey Quarters picture is kind of cool. Essentially I threw in the same thing, but then I took out a lot. I took out Giant. I think I threw in Ghetto, and I threw in, because it's still in Windhelm, but I threw in elven decorations, and I think that's what got the lanterns, because I threw in dark elf decorations, but fuck, bro, it's a lot of pictures, bro. And then I also have this picture of just a Viking, and I was like, this is just Skyrim in general, but it got in there. I don't know which one. I think when I was trying to do the Windhelm Palace, it's the Viking one I got. So sometimes you just get unpredicted shit, and you just gotta savor those times. But yeah, this was me taking fucking Skyrim through the AI generator art thingy for fun. It was fun to do. Socials will be in the description. I think I got nothing else. So you know what? Kill Nazim for me, But besides that, I hope you had a good day. If you fuck with me, like and subscribe. If you don't fuck with me, dislike and then subscribe so you can keep telling me how much you don't fuck with me. Interaction is great. Either way, I love you. Have a good day, stay safe, and stay dangerous. All right, peace.